Before I begin, I want to thank Ethan Xlanders for not only wrestling with me, but also agreeing to let me use the video as a teaching tool. Though I will be pointing out things that he could have done better, I do respect him immensely. Whether intentional or not, he has played a tremendous role in promoting gay wrestling and building community, and I have long admired his love and passion for the sport. It was an honor and a privilege to roll with him, and it doesn't hurt that he looks damn good in a singlet. Alright, so the first thing that Ethan tries to do is he tries to pummel in to try to maintain control of the center. This is a good strategy for when you're standing, but it's going to hurt him later on in the match. Now, you'll see here in a second, I'm going to get him to take a step. This is going to allow me to go for a low single or an Eminari roll. I go for the Eminari roll, but he immediately sprawls in order to defend that. Now, notice when he sprawls, he's going down to his knees. You want to kick your legs out and then bring your chest down onto your opponent. Keeping your hips heavy. Now, once I get to this kind of guard position, you'll notice that I immediately try to start building connection. So I get a hook in, and I also get one arm on his tricep. This is very important. This is going to stop him from being able to immediately pass my guard. Now, in a second here, you see I'm starting to set up this guillotine here, but when I'm doing that, he's keeping his head up, and that's going to really give me a clear path to get under his chin and get into his neck. So he needs to start burying his chin. Now he goes for this pass, but you'll see that I'm blocking his hips, but I'm also have that hook that I mentioned earlier blocking his leg, so he's not going to be able to bring that leg up and over unless he clears that hook before he starts the pass. Now you'll see here, I'm using my knee as a shield. I don't want to just rely on my hand, so I switch to a much stronger shield as quickly as I can. Now I also immediately get rid of that guillotine because it's useless now. I'm going back to establishing a nice clean guard. That's very important, guys. Don't hold on to a bad submission. Now he's trying here to again go back into that owning the center pummel game, but you'll see here in just a second that this is actually going to really set up for a good butterfly hook. You see I'm going to transition. There's a little pummel there, and that's going to allow me to give a little bit of a push on that bicep so that I can clear a path for my knee to go in. And once I've got a little bit of shin pressure on there, it's going to be much easier for me to hold on to that wrist and keep it. Okay, you don't necessarily want to always go immediately for a wrist grip. Here, I've got a pretty good control. And now that my leg is over, I don't need that grip anymore. So I start to set up this nice triangle. You see I've got that foot on the hip. That's going to allow me to stop him from coming up on top of me. And I don't take my hand off the shin until I throw my leg over. And I try to put it on boot on, but I don't succeed. I keep my toe pointed. Now you see he's trying to stack me here, but my hips are really, really low. You're going to see this from another angle in a moment. But you really want to pull your opponent's hips onto your lap and then stack. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to slide away, and you're going to be too front heavy in order for you to make that stack work. Now, I need to get my foot to be pointed straight up. So I'm going to grab my foot here, and I'm going to reposition my shin over the top of it, right over that my knee there. Now you can see my boot is on both ankles, and yes, he could potentially have stacked me there, but again, he needed to pull me onto his lap in order to start that. Now you see here, I've got my hand on the wrist, on the ankle, I mean, and I throw that leg over, but the toe's pointed. And you see, again, my hips are way low. You need to have the hips all the way above the shoulders, and in order to get that, you need to bring my hips to your hips before you start the stack. But once you get that stack, yes, you can actually break out of a triangle that way. So again, I'm going to fix my foot position, and then I'm going to cut my angle. Remember, you don't want to try to finish a triangle from head on, and you don't want to pull on the head. That's going to aid in their escape. So I get that nice angle there, and I get the tap, and that is